as we have discussed earlier, I think I gave you last class. Now, some of you have not submitted yet. Call for. And I want to believe that the assignment given to you is part of the outline. Giving assignment means that been taken care by you, and it doesn't matter whether treated or not. The exam might come from there. Nevertheless, as at the last class, I think the assignment given was basically on the so now let us start from uh, pricing policy. Price policy, as the case may be. What do you understand by the price? Price could be seen as the exchange of goods or services in terms of money. Without price, ordinarily there is no marketing in the society. So a price, or if money is not there, if the price is not there, the exchange of goods for money cannot be undertaken. But without the price, there is no exchange value of the product or services agreed upon in market transactions. So price is the key factor that affect the sales operations. And what you pay is the price for what you get or what you earn. So price is the exchange value of the goods or services in terms of money, and is also a product or services that the seller feels it worth in terms of money to the buyers. Now, what are the importance of price policy? Okay, why must be is a continuous process in planned economy. So it has not only the and allow the living standard of the people fall and economies develop of the countries is obstructed. So to maintain the proper living standard, price control is very essential. And at the same time, to maintain penny. So as the price rises, the work of the penny increases, which results in obstruction in the prescribed aims and objectives of the planning. So to maintain the planning process in a fine manner, so the price should be controlled at all costs. So the next is the protection from the monetary fluctuations. Yes, when the price increases, is more than investment and national income increases. So the monetary fluctuations defect are created to remove them. Appropriate price control is required. Then establish in demand and supply. In a developing country, due to changing circumstances, balance of demand and supply, they are all disrupted by which customers and producers, even investors, have uh, to take a kind of action. So in this regard, this shows that there is needs to balance the demands and supplies in the proper way. And adjust solutions to the point of the consumer. For quick supply of the goods or on less price management, to be the consumer's price among the other ones. Then what are the objectives of price? When we are talking of the objectives, what exactly do the society really want to achieve by government or even so so now to perform the marketing job efficiently, the management has to set goals first, because the pricing there is no exception. Before determining the price itself, the management must decide the objective of the price. What are we talking about? What are those things that has to be considered before you place or tag your price? So these objectives are logically related to the company's overall goals and objectives. So the main goals in pricing may be classified as follows. We have price price for target returns on investment, that is ROI. When we are talking of the returns on investment, like somebody, take for instance now, somebody spend 150,000 naira to invest or to buy goods, the raw materials, and at the end of the day, he has made the product, the finished goods. So for him to determine what will be the level of his profit, he has to consider the price and consider the percentage of the returns on his investment. I think you get it. That is, the business needs capital, investment in the shape of the various type of assets and working capital. So when the businessman invests capital in a business, he calculates the probable returns on his investment. So a certain rate of returns on investment is aimed. Then the price is fixed accordingly. So the price includes the determined average returns, and this is sellers oriented policy. Many well-established firms adopt the objective of pricing in terms of return on investment. A firm want to secure a certain percentage of the returns on their investment or on their sales. Are we getting it? Then market shares. Market shares. The target shares of the market and the expected volume of the sales are the most important considerations in the pricing of the product. So some companies do adopt the main pricing objective so as to maintain or to improve the market shares toward the product. So a good market shares is a better indication of the progress. For this reason, the firm may lower the price in comparison to the rival product with a view to capture the mind of the market or the buyers. So by reducing the price, customers are not exploited, rather benefited. Are we getting it? Just like Coca-Cola and Biggie Cola this time around. You know, Coca-Cola's price was high a bit, more than Biggie Cola before. But when the Biggie Cola came on board, you discover that they have a very keen rivalry. They have a very keen rivalry. At the end of the day, Coca was forced to reduce the price. So as that is what we are talking about. Then to meet or prevent competitions, when we are talking of to meet and prevent competitions, the pricing objective may be to meet or prevent the competition as well. Because why fixing the price?
Hello, please, let's be patient for our lecturer, please.
When we are talking of and on or the profit rather, it will exploit the customer. It will exploit the customer, and the moment it exploit the moment is what it is employing the customer have a feeling of monopoly and high price. So, but along the run policy, we are now attracting the competitors who has produced similar goods at a lower cost. And as a result of that, the price control and the government regulations will be introduced. I think we are all getting it. So the next one is that of the stabilized price. It is a long-term objective. It is a long-term objective and aims of preventing frequent fluctuations in price. So it is also prevents the price war among the competitors. When the price often changes, there rises no there arise no confidence on the product. The price are designed in that during of the price fall below a certain level. And in boom price, the price are allowed to rise beyond a certain level. So, however, the firm forgo maximum profit during the price of the short supply of the product. Another, another one is that customer ability to pay. So the price that are charged differ from person to person according to his capacity to pay. Just for example, now doctor charges fee for their own services according to the capacity of the patient. Yes, of course. Look at the customer's ability to pay. If a doctor has treated a patient and he has discovered that this patient is an honorable member of the state or the federal, if it is only malaria he has treated with the person, he can charge like 100,000 naira, 120,000 naira, 50,000 naira, as the case may be. But if it is the common people that even before you could afford to get the patient card, he hardly get 100 naira or 200 naira. So in that case, the price will be different. That is another policy. Then resource mobilizations. Resource mobilization. When we are talking of the resource mobilization, there is nothing bad in that, of course, because it is a pricing objective. It's a pricing objective, and the product are priced in such a way that sufficient sources are made available for the firm. Are you getting it? For the firm expansion, development, and investment. etc. Now the marketer are interested in getting back the amount invested as speedily as possible, and the management may fix a higher price. And this trend will find a competitor with low price similar product. And we have the survival and the growth. Yes, and this is an important objective of the pricing as well. That is the survival and achieving the expected rate of growth. Achieving the what? The expected growth. So that should be, if that should be the case, if that should be the case, the profit are less important, the survivor. So according to the Peter Drucker, avoidance of loss and ensuring the survivor are more important than maximization of the profit. Another one is that of prestige and the goodwill. Yes, pricing also aims at maintaining the prestige and enhancing the goodwill of the product. I want to tell you that this pricing policy or objectives, sometimes the price of a particular commodity does not determine the quality or the quantity. I want you to understand that one. So what Mr. A has acquired at the rate of 20 naira, Mr. B may not acquire it at the rate of 20 naira as well. He may not acquire it at the rate of 20 naira as well. Why? Because they might get it from different sources. Are you getting it? Now, what are the factors affecting the pricing policy? The factors affecting the pricing policy. When we are talking of the factor affecting the pricing policy, you will discover that the policy, the price policy of the government as an external body determines a lot. So, of course, we have an internal and external factor, which is categorized into three or two rather. We have the internal factor and external factor. The first one is that of internal. And when we are talking of the internal factor, we talk of the organizational factor. That is, pricing decisions occur on two levels in an organization. Overhaul the price top executives deal with the strategies, and they determine the basic range that product fall into in terms of the market segment. So the actual mechanic of price are dealt with at lower level in the firm and focus on individual product strategy. Are you getting that? Then the next one is the market mix. So the marketing experts view price as only one of the many important elements of the marketing mix. So a shift in any one of the elements has an immediate effect on the other three productions. That is, we have the promotions, distribution strategies that support it. Are we getting it? Then product differentiation. Product differentiations. When we are talking of the product differentiations, the price of the product also depends upon the characteristic of the product, and in order to attract the customers, different characteristics are added to the product, such as quality, size, color, attractive package, alternative uses, etc. And at the same time, the customer even pay more price for the product which of new new style or fashion, better package. So we have that of the cost of the product. So the cost and the price of the product are closely related. So the most important factor is the cost of production. So if Mr. A have spent like 20 naira in making a product available, and Mr. B has and now tagged his own price to be 22 naira, and me was able to spend up to like 18 naira to make the product available. He now tagged his own product. He now tagged his own product price as 20 naira 50 kobo. You know, the production cost has determined what will be the price of individual producers. So the cost of the product is a determinant factor. Then objective of the firm. Yes, if you are talking of the objective of the firm, most of the firm or most of the company, they are always there to achieve their goals or their objectives in one way or the other. So a firm may have various objectives, and pricing contributes its shares in achieving that objective. So firm may pursue a variety of the value-oriented objectives. When we are talking of that, we can talk of the maximizing sales revenue, maximizing market shares, and maximizing customers' volume, and maximizing the customers' an image. So of the objective of the firm. Then when we are talking of the external factors, we can talk of demands. The higher the demands, the producer can use that avenue to increase the price. I think you get it. So the nature and the condition of demand should be considered when fixing the price. If the demand is very low, it's better the price of the product is what? Is reduced, is lower than. But if the demand is high, that means there is no alternative. Even if there is alternative, they have noticed the quality and the quantity of that, the quality and the quantity of the product. So they may not have any alternative than to go for such a product. So the larger the number of the demands, the better for the price tag for the producer. Then competitions, that is another external factors. In modern marketing, a manufacturer cannot fix his own price. Yes, without considering the what? The competitions or his competitor. So a number of substitutes enter the market these days. And when the influence of the substitute has also to be what? To be considered when fixing the price. So a firm must be vigilant about the price chart by the competitor for the similar product. So if prices are fixed higher or lower than the price charged by the competitor, the customer are likely to switch over to the product of the competitor. Then distribution channel. Yes, the area through which the product is being getting to the final consumers is another determinant, which is served as an external. Are we getting it? So the distribution channel also affect the price, and the consumers knows only the retail price, but there is a middleman working in the channel of distribution. So he charges his own product, and when the articles reach the hands of the world, or the product reach the hands of the consumer, the price becomes higher, and it sometimes happens that the customer reject the product. The general economic condition is another one. Price is affected by the general economic condition, like what is really happening now in Nigeria or globally with this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic issues. You discover that what the product that worth 20 naira, they have increased it to 25 naira. The product that worth 70 naira it has been increased to 100 naira. So the inflations or deflations or trade cycle, like what we are experiencing is a trade cycle. So in the inflationary period, the management is forced to bid the higher price. Okay, look at the tomato of a tin. Those people getting tomato, they claims yes, the government have locked down every places, that they could not even go travel to where necessary to get the product. So thereby, with one they are holding, the price will be higher. Are you getting? That's general economic condition. The government policy as well. That one also relating to that. So price also depends on the price control by the government considerations and the taxations and even the trade policies of the government. Yes, let me use a scenario for this. During the time of Jonathan, when they were clearing vehicles at the lower rate, you discover that if you want to buy Camry, then you buy it at the rate of 9 something, 8 something, at most 1 million. Simply because of the clearing charges was a bit low then. But now that the tariff has been increased, you discover that is why when you get to the market now, you will be seeing Camry or Corolla at a higher price than before. So the government policy, because the government policies determines what and how much they have to pay in order to clear such a product or goods and services. The reaction of the consumer as well is part of the external factor. So an important factor affecting the price, of course, decision is the attitude of the customers or the consumer. So if a firm fixes the price of its product unreasonably high, so the consumer may boycott the product voluntarily without anything to convince them. Are we getting it? Now, another one is that yes, we have the method of pricing. If we want to tag the price, what are the methods that can be used so that it will not look like this one is just outrageously placed or tag its own price? We have 4 basic price policy. We have 1, cost-based pricing policies. We have demand-based pricing policies, and we have competition-based pricing policies. Then value-based pricing policies. Look at all these 4 pricing methods. You see, let us take them one after the other. Cost-based pricing policy. This is a way or method whereby the policy of setting price essentially on the basis of the total cost per unit is known as cost-oriented pricing policy, and is in about 68% of the consumer's goods and about 89% of the industrial products. Manufacturing companies takes their pricing decision based on the cost of the production. And the following are the 4 methods of the pricing which fall under the cost-oriented pricing policy. 1, cost plus pricing. Yes, it's simply put, cost plus pricing. That means if you have spent 200 naira to produce a product, so if you want to place your price, you have to consider what will be the percentage of your profit, which has to be added. So you cannot tag it as 200 naira because you have spent 200 naira to make that product. So it could be reasonably be considered some other expenses like 230 naira. Are you getting it? So by so doing, the theory of the full cost pricing has been deployed, and business firms under this condition of oligopoly and the monopolistic competitive market do not determine the price, and output with the help of the principle of the marginal consumption is equal to marginal revenue, and they determine the price on the basis of the full average cost of the productions plus average fixed cost of the margin of normal profit. So this is the most common method used for pricing. Under this method, the price is fixed to cover all the costs and a predetermined percentage of the profit. Another one is that of the target pricing. Another one is that of the target pricing. Okay, pricing, This variant of the full cost pricing. Under this method, the cost is added with the predetermined target rate of the returns on capital invested. So in this case, the company will estimate future rate, future cost, and calculate a targeted rate of the returns on an investment after the tax. Because they must have, they need to also consider the tax. So they need to consider the tax because there are some products that tax has to be paid by the producers. So the amount of the tax will be added to the cost. The consumer is going to have it. Okay, let me use this one as example. If you buy a recharge card of 200 now, ordinarily, if you look at it, we're supposed to pay the tax because we call it value added tax. But it is the producers that pays the tax. So you pay 200 naira, and when you pay 200 naira, you have directly or indirectly paid tax that the Glo or the MTN, Excellent or Nine Mobile are paid on your behalf. So that is the target price. Then the break-even pricing. This is a form of target returns pricing, and it is a refinement to the cost-oriented pricing as well. Break-even analysis is used for pricing, and firm first determine the break-even point. So that is the point at which there is no gain nor there is no profit. So it is the point at which the total sales are equal to the total cost profit. No loss point at which the total sales are equal to the average total cost of the product. So both the variable cost and the fixed cost are covered under this method, but it does not include any profit. Then demand-based, number two is demand-based pricing policy. If you're talking of the demand-based pricing policy, under this, demand is a what? Is a basic factor. That is the level at which people ask for that product is a basic factor. So price is fixed, simply adjusting it to the market conditions. In short, the price is fixed according to the demand for a product. So if the demand is higher, look at the Corona, whatever now, not Corolla, this COVID-19 I'm talking about, the Toyota product. You know, the higher people demand for such a product, the higher the cost. That is what you are talking about. Are we getting it? So then we have some method of pricing which fall under this policy. Differential pricing. Under this method, the same product is sold at the different price to different customers in different places and at the different price. Yes, it is very much possible. You have acquired on the roadside with the one you enter the shop, where the sellers will also engage the sales boy or sales girl. They pay for security, they pay for the light. The price may not be the same, even despite the fact that they got the products from the same place. Differential pricing. I think you can understand that. Then modified break-even analysis. This is a combination of the cost-based and the demand-based pricing techniques. And this method reveals the price quantity mix that maximize the total profit. In another way, under this method, of course, the price are fixed to achieve the highest profit over the break-even point in consideration of the amount demanded at an alternative price. Another one is premium pricing. It is based on the principle that the product or brand should what? Should be positioned at the top of the market and must also offer a greater value in the qualitative terms than similar brand in other price elements. Then we also have the neutral pricing under that. Then, as I've said, competitive based price policy. That one under which we can get the going rate pricing, customer pricing, still bid pricing, value-based pricing. Now, I want to give you the assignment. Let me quickly give you these assignment. What are the methods or the strategies of pricing a new product? What are the methods? Discuss the method or strategy of pricing new products in the business arena. The method. Then assignment number 2. What are those procedures that can be considered in price determinations? What are those procedures that has to be considered for price determinations? So having gotten this, which has to be submitted on or before the next class, attendance, as you could see, is taking serious attentions to. So try to always log in and attend your class and submit your assignment as well, because at the end of the day, everything will be piled up so as to determine hello? Hello? Yes, I know. So as to determine what the percentage of your continuous assessment. So thank you very much for your listening, and we shall meet next class. Thank you.